On Edgemere Drive, Bob Gifford lives in the house behind us. He's been up all night. He came out and talked to us a few minutes ago about what he experienced as he stayed up all night.
The lake never really piled up high. Fortunately, it's at a 50-year low. Had it been higher, we would have been in trouble like we were in 1972 when all the break walls broke.
Yeah, and Bob has lived here since that time in 72. He said he was born in 52, and we also had apparently some serious flooding back then. He's used to it. You heard the county executive say that. People who live on the know when it's time to leave, and for folks like Bob, they felt it was safer to stay in their homes. You know, we've talked about, did the evacuation maybe come a little bit too late? Well, his knock on the door came at 11 o'clock last night, and he said, you know what, he just felt safer at home, and he wrote it out here, and I think some of his neighbors probably are going to say the same thing. We're going to talk to them as soon as they're up this morning. We'll bring you more updates. We're live on Edgemere Drive. Patrice Walsh, 13 Bob Gifford, who lives across the street, lost some siding on his house. He kind of waited it out. He said he was up all night. It was very loud, and he was a little concerned, but he said he wasn't scared because the lake levels were so low. We talked to him just a few minutes ago. So was it scary to live through that, or?
No, it wasn't, because the lake was under well control. It was low.
How high were the waves?
I couldn't really see because it was dark. When they broke, they died out before they came to the break wall. It looked like they were maybe 3 to 4 feet high, probably higher, about 50 feet out or so, about as far as we could see.
Yeah, and we did hear reports of 10-foot waves further out onto the lake. Again, we are hoping to talk with some more homeowners as they get up. The sun coming up, and it's going to allow county officials to come down here, go door to door, assess the damage and what people need. And those evacuation, the mandatory evacuation, remains in effect today. There are people possibly who may be taking advantage of those shelters if they don't have power. We will have the very latest from you from Edgemere Drive coming up. Live, Patrice Walsh, 13 WEM News.
And yes, if you're wondering, the man was holding a turtle.
Sure was. That evacuation.
Bob Gifford, he lives in the house just behind us. He was up all night monitoring things, had some damage to his siding, but otherwise, no real problems.
The lake never really piled up high. Fortunately, it's at a 50-year low. Had it been higher, we would have been in trouble like we were in 1972 when all the break walls broke.
So was it scary to live through that, or?
No, it wasn't, because the lake was under well control. It was low.
How high were the waves?
Couldn't really see because it was dark. When they broke, they died out before they came to the break wall. It looked like they were maybe 3 to 4 feet high, probably higher, about 50 feet out or so, about as far as we could see.
Again, many people did stay in their homes, most of them now waking up to a beautiful sky, but the light of day to assess any damage they might have. For Bob, just some siding on his house, and he's glad, though, he rode out the storm here. The county will be going door to door, checking on things, checking on any damage, talking to folks here along the lakeshore. We will be out here, and we'll have the very latest for you coming up. We're live. Patrice Walsh, 13 WEM News.
Yeah, good thing he was able to, well, and yes, that is a turtle he was carrying. I know, Patrice, when you interviewed him, you probably were wondering what was in his hands, but it is a turtle. Yes, it is. All right, Patrice, thanks so much. All right, we'll be right back.
We do see police, though, off in the distance, checking on folks down here. There's going to be a lot of that going on as they assess the damage here, but we are live on Edgemere Drive. Patrice Walsh, 13 WEM News.
I'm sorry, Patrice, I need to keep you. Can I ask you one more question? Please forgive me.
Sure.
In all of this, the good news is there is some levity to this in this report. To one of your reports, the gentleman you spoke to with the turtle, I don't know if you may not believe this, Patrice, but that turtle is famous. Everyone on our Facebook page and 13 WEM TV wants to know about this turtle.
What up with the turtle?
Yeah,
okay.
Why was he holding the turtle?
You know what? I don't know. You know, everybody's asking me what his name is, and I guess we better come up with a name. I said Snappy. I don't know. I was so focused on this man and his story, but the photographer who shot it felt like that was a big part of the story, and I feel bad that I didn't ask any questions about the turtle, but I actually think this resident came out to show us his turtle, and I
Oh.
I really wasn't that interested in that point because obviously he had lived through this storm and I wanted him to share that story.
Yeah.
But then we have pictures of this turtle that took over the whole interview. So
you're like, nice turtle, but how about you? We're in kind of a situation here, and you want to show me your turtle. That's nice. Put it back. Tell me about the storm.
Yeah.
I had to ask Patrice.
But to answer your question, yeah, I don't know the backstory, but when Bob comes out again, which we do hope we're going to talk to him again, he's got to explain to us a little bit more about his turtle. And it's really my fault because I focused more, obviously,
you had a lot going on, Patrice.
at hand.
No, you had a lot going on. You were busy. There is no question.
But
Patrice,
I will get his name for you, though.
All right. He is a superstar. He is perhaps perhaps the unsung celebrity out of this whole thing. Thanks, Patrice.
Like so, in a nutshell,
in a turtle shell,
things are improving.
Turtle power. Remember?
And I can't wait to see it. The sun officially comes up in about 10 minutes. We'll have to check back and see how that
God, it's beautiful. If that's one thing we're not, is shy. No turtlenecks here. Okay, so Marty's going to come
as you can
back.
see, a beautiful sunrise happening. And, you know, Joanne, myself, Patrice Walsh, my photographers, we're not the only ones enjoying this sunrise. Yes, the famous turtles are back, guys. I heard so much about this. Now, I'm not going to...
What's his name?
There they are. I'm not going to step in on Patrice Walsh's story, so we're going to let her talk to this gentleman.
Look at
and we'll bring you an update in the coming hour. How's that?
Okay,
well, I don't know. It might be name might be Snappy, but again, this is Patrice Walsh's beat. The snapping turtles after the flood. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's the turtle after the storm. Thank you so much, Sean. Thanks.
Turtle after the storm.
All right, your local headlines coming up next. Snappy's having a good morning.
What about Whammy?
Whammy. Whammy the Snappy Turtle.
We're going to name that turtle.
You'll be the newsroom mascot. Turtle.
Because we need one.
Yeah, we need one.
And then, of course, we have perhaps the most important story of the day, Patrice. The turtle. Yes, the turtles. There's two of them. Give us the story.
Okay. You know, we did a report early today, and we talked to Bob Gifford, who lives just to our left here, and I was trying to ask Bob about, you know, roughing it all night through the storm, and he said that he did, and everything was fine, had some minor damage. Well, during the interview, Bob was holding one very large snapping turtle. Well, I didn't realize that snapping turtle was going to become a hit on Facebook and Twitter, and everybody's asking me, what are their names? Well, we found out some information about them when we talked to Bob again just a few minutes ago, and here are the answers. So tell me again, who's this?
This is Frick. This is Frack.
Frick and Frack, and I didn't ask you much about your turtles. Now, what are you doing? You're training them or what?
Well, they walk on leashes. I'm getting them to go on skateboards. Jumping through hula hoops is a little difficult yet. When we do that, we can make one of the reality shows.
So these guys are the hit of the post-storm coverage. What do you think about that?
They can survive it just fine. I figured that they would be my motor if the water got high. I could just hold on and float